Hey, welcome back to This Is Why Neck Resets Are So Expensive. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, the wings are on there, or the shims, I guess we call them. Now we're just going to carve this excess part off of here. So we have our shims set in, and now what we're doing is we're fitting it to this neck pocket. So I have two pieces of carbon paper taped on the inside, and what I am doing is I put the neck in, push it in and out a little bit, and then I pull it out, and lo and behold, there's where it's rubbing. And here is where it's rubbing. So ever so slowly what we're doing now is shaving off that part that's rubbing. Hopefully only that little part. Probably not even getting that light in there, so sorry. So how much are we taking off? Not much. And so we do it again. Oh look, more rubbing spots. Okay, here we are. This is 2.5, maybe 3 hours, give or take. Lunch, messaging, all that kind of stuff. But we're in. I mean, there's nothing there. There's no movement there. That makes me the happy camper. So let's unclamp it, and we'll lay it down, and we'll see if we're where we need to be. All right, now's when it starts to get kind of fun, because we have a couple of, not issues, it's just part of doing this. We don't know what state of alignment this instrument was in when it came to us. The neck was kind of on it, but who knows how long it had been since it had played. So we have to line a couple of different things up. One thing we have to do is we have to get our string spacing right here on the nut. And I have just fabricated a stand-in nut. It's made out of rosewood. And it's a temporary stand-in, so we can kind of start looking at some things. We don't have the advantage of having a fixed bridge, so it makes it a little more difficult. So one thing that I've noticed when this first got here is that this is a little cattywampus, and as you can see, it looks like it's skewed this direction just a teeny bit. Now, with this being a metal tailpiece, I want to be very careful about, I'm not going to go bending and twisting this to get it into the right spot, because as soon as I do that, we all know what's going to happen. Kink! And then I'm not a happy camper. So what I may end up doing to get the middle hole of this in the center line of where the guitar is I may end up putting like a shim underneath here. That way it'll shift me the way that I need it to be, so that I can get the tailpiece in center line with the body of the guitar, which will then allow me to make the adjustments on the neck to get it tracking straight down, to then be able to put this in the correct spot. Because as you can see here, if we try to align the strings up with the end of the fingerboard, you see this? That's not right. These should be, now if we take this out of the equation and we look here, this should be more along these lines, which is not exactly where it wants to be. So we have to fix this, and part of it is going to be looking at this, measuring the body, making sure that we have a center line on the body and that this tailpiece is lined up on that center line, because there's nothing we can do about the center line. It is what it is. Then we will start making the fine adjustments to this joint here to start doing this the way that we need to go, which will then allow us to put this in the position that it needs to be. Now, the intent is to keep this bridge, and we're going to do everything we can do to keep this bridge. With that being said, what I may end up doing is just making another one. And then that's part of the rattle can service, is you will get your bridge, we will set it up as much as we can, but we may go with a different bridge, just to get a little more height, to get a little more break in this string angle here, but that's just kind of talking out of line. Now, we still have got to deal with this fingerboard here, because as we can see, there is quite a bit of room underneath here from where we had to dig out the back of this neck. Now, I'm going to put a shim underneath here, but it's not going to go all the way. What we're going to do is probably split the difference, put that wedge underneath there, and then when we glue it down, we won't clamp it down the whole way here. We won't try to make this, because it gives a real ugly fall off. We'll split the difference. You're not playing up here anyways, and if it's a slide guitar, you're certainly not doing that. So that is where we've gotten with this. This is really nice and solid. Now we just have to make these fine adjustments, and that's where we're going to end it today, because it's 5 o'clock. I've been down here since 9. Well, 9:30, and then You know, not a lot of breaks. We just plow right on through. So that's what's going on, and we'll do some fun stuff on the next episode. So cheers, have a good one.
Hey, if you like this episode of RATTLECAN Guitar Restorations, you might want to check this video out as well. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, and if you'd like to help the channel grow, consider stepping over to our Patreon page and giving that a look. Y'all have a good weekend. Cheers.